to the northeast. So this right here is the area of a little bit more concern. Hence the reason why the National Weather Service has issued that tornado warning. So tornado warning is in effect. You're probably getting those alerts on your phone. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We do have that tornado warning in effect for Anderson, Knox, Morgan, and Roane counties, and that's going to be in effect until 5 o'clock this morning. Just checking the chat to see if we have any new information with this storm. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm that was capable, that's the key word. It is not confirmed, but capable of producing a tornado that was located right around Kingston. We had been watching that rotation moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So if your city is right now within this area, Clinton, Harriman, Kingston, or Oak Ridge, you do want to make sure that you are taking shelter. And so let's talk a little bit more about some of these cities. Kaylee is just going to be posting this. Kaylee, can I check that out really quick before you post that? For some reason, our tracking is not wanting to work on this computer, but on this computer right here,
here we can switch to Max too.
But it's okay. We'll keep it like like this. Yeah, we're good. I'll read this. So Third Creek, you have roughly 20 to 25 minutes. Stonebrook, 20 minutes. Melton Hill, roughly 5 to 10 minutes for some of that potential rotation as it continues to move off to the northeast. Meteorologist Kaylee Bowers. I'm going to call you Cassie this whole morning. I'm sorry, Kaylee. Kaylee Bowers is here this morning. And she is online. She is posting all this information. She is answering your questions, and she is continuing to keep you in touch for what we are seeing across the area. We've been tracking these storms now for almost 2 hours, folks. So it's been lots of fun this morning. Happy Saturday. This is how we started off last Saturday, but we do have this tornado warning again that is in effect for another 16 minutes. And as you notice, we get more information in, they are going to continue to update this. So this is going to be a continued tornado warning until 5 a.m. This now includes Anderson, Knox, Loudon, and Roane County. So they have taken off Morgan County out of that tornado warning, but they have still included Anderson, Knox, Loudon, and Roane counties. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado that was located now near Lenoir City, and it is still moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Let's get into the velocity scan. Let's post this one more time. And again, we're still seeing the opportunity for some potential rotation. Again, not confirmed, folks. Even if this is not confirmed, there still is the opportunity for some rotation within this storm. And this could definitely be very interesting to see if we've had any damage from this storm move through the area. But it's now to the east of Kingston. Let me highlight to you where we are seeing some of that potential rotation right here. And again, meteorologist Kaylee Bowers has posted this information over on our Facebook page, over on Twitter. And so if you do have any specific questions, again, folks, I know you're probably hearing those alerts, those alarms on your phone. You're probably waking up to this. We have the opportunity, the potential for seeing an isolated tornado now moving into parts of West Knox County, and it is going to be moving off to the northeast. So this is going to be impacting really the northern half of Farragut, moving into the southern half of Anderson County, and now heading into, if this does hold together, potentially the western half of Carnes, and then if it does hold together, the western half of Powell. This is still going to be a very powerful storm, folks. Even if it is not, even if it does not produce a tornado, we don't have that confirmed, we're still looking at some very gusty winds gusting up to around 60 to 70 miles per hour. I cannot reiterate this enough. Please be in your safe place this morning. Grab your kids. I know it's still dark. Hopefully they're still sleeping. Take them into your shelter, the lowest part of your house, if you can possibly do that, away from windows, away from doors, just for the potential for some possible damage, down trees. I know a lot of folks are probably still without power, but this is something that we're going to continue to watch. So the latest opportunity for some of this spin in the atmosphere, Carnes, roughly 10 to 14 minutes away from your area. Powell, 15 to 20 minutes. Central High School, that's going to be in the northern half of our of Knox County. That's going to be roughly 20 to 25 minutes away. Again, these are all just kind of radar estimated timelines. Kaylee is posting that over onto our Facebook page. We're tracking some of the spin that right now that we do have across our area, but there you can see right here near I-40, going right along I-40, actually heading into the northern half of Knox County. And still holding on to the latest spin, yeah, with some of the latest scans that we have just to the south of Oak Ridge as well. So right here, is where we're going to continue to kind of monitor this situation. Carnes, heads up, Oak Ridge, and then if it does hold together, the northern half of Farragut heading into the Powell community as well, is where we're going to continue to watch this opportunity. We have this tornado warning that will be in effect for another 13 minutes. Again, this is radar estimated, not confirmed if we do have a tornado, but we do have some spin, and that is exactly why we are monitoring this situation. This initially started off as a severe thunderstorm warning, which we do have that severe thunderstorm warning in place, but that severe thunderstorm warning will also be in effect until 5 a.m. I'm curious to see if we will extend this. We have our full team right now checking out on storm damage, the potential for that. If you are losing power right now, you can always watch us online. We have a Facebook Live that is going this morning, as well as on Twitter. But if you are watching and you are in the outer part of this viewing area, just know that these storms, again, are strong. They are powerful. They do have the potential of bringing in those strong wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. And there is meteorologist Kaylee Bowers, who just walked behind me. So tornado warning in effect for Anderson, Knox, Loudon, and Roane counties. This does include Farragut, Carnes, and Oak Ridge. And you can kind of see the line right here stretching up into the Carnes community as to where we could see the potential path of some of these stronger storms. Again, stretching into west in Knox County, into the northern half of Knox County, southeastern corner of Anderson County, and continuing to push its way off to the east-northeast at 50 miles per hour. This is going to be in addition to those strong gusty winds that are likely due to the severe thunderstorm warning that we have in place. So definitely seeing some strong winds, definitely seeing some frequent lightning. And again, this is just now going to be pushing into parts of West Knox County, heading into the southern half of Anderson County, and moving into the northern half of Knox County as well. So Carnes, Powell, heads up. You do have that tornado warning that is in effect for your location. Now is the time, folks. If you are not in your safe place, it is now time to get into your safe place. It does look like the rotation is broadening just a little bit. This appears to be right north of I-40, just to the southeast of Blair Road. North Campbell Station Road, this could potentially kind of track just to the northwest of you, heading up into, let's say, the Hardin Valley area, moving closer to around Middlebrook Pike. If this does hold together, this is some broad rotation. It could potentially make its way into the Carnes community, and if it does hold together, we're looking at more of the southeastern corner of Oak Ridge, heading just to the north of Powell. So if you live in these areas, again, we are looking at a tornado warning that is in effect until 5 o'clock this morning, and this is due to the opportunity of a potential possible tornado, again, where we do have that tornado warning in place. Let me just focus again on that area of concern. This is just going to be right to the east of Buttermilk Road. If you know where that exit is at on I-40, that's where we're watching some of this broad rotation. Again, this is not confirmed. Just to the southwest of Hardin Valley, and then just to the southwest of Solway School. This is moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Again, folks, tornado warning in effect for another 10 minutes. That does include Knox County, Anderson County, and it does include, let's see, we'll get to that in just a second. It does include Knox County, Anderson County, Loudon County, and Roane County. And again, that is in effect until 5 a.m. It is moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. Let's see. We did get some information from the National Weather Service. So around the Kingston area says that this is hopefully some reassuring news. This is the area where the tornado warning was first put into place. Said this is from one of our radio operators in the Cherokee Hills area, said that they experienced only heavy rain, some gusty winds. So no, again, confirmation that this storm is producing that tornado. This is all radar estimated, and again, this is where we are seeing some of that broad rotation, but this tornado warning is in effect for another roughly 10 minutes. Kaylee, do you have any information on this?
Yeah, I'm just monitoring Facebook Live right now, and a couple people said, where do I go in a tornado warning? You want to get to the lowest level of your house, whatever building you're in, and into your room with no windows. Stay away from that, as these winds could be strong enough to possibly blow your windows out. So yes, get to the lowest level possible if you can. If you're in a mobile home, get out. Get out of the mobile home. And something very important when we have tornado warnings and just severe thunderstorm warnings in general, do not go into your safe space without shoes on. Very important to have shoes on, closed-toe shoes, so that way once the system's done, you're not walking around possibly on debris. That could be hurtful to your feet as well. So something very important right there. So we're still watching. I'm answering as many questions as I can for you guys. So
Thank you so much, Kayla. Yeah, we've been here since early this morning tracking these storms, watching this line that has continued to move through the area. I know a lot of people very nervous considering what happened yesterday. Again, this is a completely different setup, folks. Our main concern here is going to be gusty winds, but as we mentioned, there was the possibility of seeing an isolated tornado, and so we are watching that spin that we do have with that tornado warning in effect for Anderson, Knox, Loudon, and Roane counties. And this again is going to be in effect for another roughly 7 minutes. Let's take you down into what we're seeing with this storm and talk a little bit more about the velocity scans, because this is where I was kind of picking up on earlier with some of that tightening of the rotation that we had. Again, still seeing some broad rotation possible. This is going to be just to the northwest of Farragut. Again, not as alarming as what I saw just a few minutes ago, but I talked about this before. Storms like to breathe. They like to expand. They like to tighten up. They like to expand. They like to tighten up. And yeah, it looks like we are going to continue to see that tornado warning expire as we get closer to the 5 o'clock hour, which is great news, folks. But if you are still watching, this is a very strong storm that is making its way through the region. Just because they may not keep that tornado warning going does not mean that you need to relax as of right now. We're still seeing some very strong storms pushing their way through the Central Valley, storms that have the possibility of producing up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So we still have that tornado warning. They will carry it on until 5 o'clock this morning, and from that point on, it does not look like they are going to extend it. This is coming from the National Weather Service, but we will still have that severe thunderstorm warning in place, likely with a tag of saying a tornado possible. So still seeing some very strong storms. Let me take you into the big picture point of view right now. This is just one part of a line of showers and thunderstorms that are making their way through the region. I know it's dark outside. You really can't see some of these storms that are moving through, but you can hear the thunder, you can see the lightning, you can kind of get an idea of where some of these stronger storms are continuing to slide their way through the area. This is going to take you across northeast Tennessee, moving into now Sevier County. Non-severe thunderstorms, still seeing some very gusty winds. Right now, closer to the Sweetwater community, also seeing some very gusty winds. This is a non-severe thunderstorm just around the Sweetwater community, but very heavy rain, the potential for seeing up to pea-sized hail, not out of the question. And this again is going to be for Sweetwater, Philadelphia, and moving into parts of Greenback and Von Orr. Let me check the velocity scan in this area. Just seeing some pretty gusty winds. And in fact, if we take you a little bit further north again, it's a great thing that that tornado warning is going to be expiring, because that rotation has definitely started to ease up. Good news, folks. Again, still seeing that tornado warning. You will have that update on your phone. You'll probably see it going on the bottom of the screen here for another 5 minutes, but it will be expiring at 5 o'clock in the morning. Still very gusty winds. Wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour plus possible with these storms, and this could still lead to downed trees or power outages. So these are very strong storms that are still continuing to slide their way through the area, especially right now moving into parts of West Knox County. Again, we talked about this before with some of that bowing that can happen. That's where you can get some of those stronger winds that do slide their way through the area. So let's take away these warnings. Let's talk about what we're seeing. So where we could see some of those stronger winds could potentially include parts of northern half of West Knox County, Karnes, Powell. This is also the area that is still under the tornado warning here for another 4 minutes. Not necessarily overly concerned about the rotation in place, but still very strong damaging winds are going to be possible. That does include Karnes, Powell, Farragut, stretching down into Lenoir City. This is going to be sliding into the downtown Knoxville community here within the next 10-15 minutes. And so some heavy rain, gusty winds will be possible. Again, thankfully, the concern for tornado warning is not going to be in place. In fact, it actually looks like we may see that severe thunderstorm warning expire at 5 o'clock this morning, which is fantastic news, folks. But this just really goes to show that these storms, again, the capability of what they have after that potential severe thunderstorm warning does expire. Hopefully from that point on, we can focus our attention on potential damage that we had from this morning, and more so what will be a relatively nice day leading forward. So looking at what we have right now, we do have that tornado warning again. That does include Anderson, Knox, Loudon, and Roane counties. They are expiring this at 5 o'clock this morning. So just a few more minutes. You're going to see it go on the bottom of your screen. The rotation, the concern, the threat is certainly not as high as what it was when we first issued this tornado warning. We have that severe thunderstorm warning that is also going to be in effect. Let's see if we can pick up on that. Let's take away this tornado warning. We have that severe thunderstorm warning that is also in effect, and that is going to include right there. Anderson, Knox, Morgan, and Roane counties, Harriman, Kingston, Midtown, and Oliver Springs, they are going to let that severe thunderstorm warning expire as well. So from that point on, folks, we are, what? Oh, from that point on, again, we may see, again, perhaps maybe some quieter weather. So let's see. Right now, it does not look like we have any major damage. This is coming from, again, another report. Central Dispatch reports only slight damage near TVA rail crossing at Pine Ridge Road between I-40 exits 350 and Harriman. No injuries, down tree branches, maybe some utility lines. And then so we are getting reports of significant decreases in wind and rain around Kingston. So great news, folks. Again, this line of storms is still very powerful, but hopefully as this morning progresses, we're going to continue to see this kind of gradual weakening. The main concern that we had for seeing some of these strong storms was happening right around this time frame. The rest of the day today is actually just going to be quieter. It's going to be breezy, but we will continue to see that threat for storms decrease as this line continues to move through. So overall, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 5 o'clock this morning. We also have that tornado warning that will be in effect for another roughly 2 minutes. And from that point on, it is set that they are going to expire. Let's kind of put this into motion over the last hour, and you can really see, just look at this, judging it off of the lightning. Watch as how even an hour ago, this storm was just so much stronger. It is continuing to weaken, which is some great news. So actually, after they expire these warnings, I think we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to regroup. And we're going to get ready for 10 News Today, which is going to be starting here in roughly an hour. We're also going to check some of the storm reports that we have across the area. We're still seeing some very strong storms that are pushing their way into the central Knox area. Again, no longer going to be seeing that main concern for some rotation. At one point, this started around Kingston. It has traveled its way off to the northeast, and as time has gone on, that concern for seeing some potential rotation is no longer quite as significant. If you're watching from parts of Fentress County and even Cumberland County, go back to bed. Take a little bit of a deep breath. The main concern for these strong storms has now shifted off to the east. We're going to continue to see as time goes on. We do have that tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock this morning. As time progresses on, they will likely start to cancel that tornado watch from west to east. Still seeing some rumbles of thunder pushing their way through the central and southern half of our viewing area. So still some very strong storms, not the type of morning where you do want to be out and about. But there we go, 5 o'clock this morning, that severe thunderstorm warning and that tornado warning has since canceled. With that being said, folks, it is 5 o'clock this morning. We will jump in as need be, but I really do think that a majority of these storms are starting to weaken. We are still going to have the potential for some heavy rain, some gusty winds, as well as the opportunity for some frequent lightning. But the main threat that we had for an isolated tornado is no longer with us. If we do see that within the next hour, if something continues to spin up, we will once again jump into programming. But now that we have been on here for roughly 2 hours, we're going to give a little break to ourselves. We're going to give you a little break at home, regroup, recap what we can get, talk to our newsroom, and then we're going to have much more coming up over on 10 News Today starting at 6 o'clock. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We will have much more coming up in just a little bit.